Welcome to MDIC Live, where we highlight the latest projects from the Medical Device Innovation Consortium. Thank you for joining us today in this session for Case for Quality. Today, we will have members from the Case for Quality team, and they're going to be sharing with us more about this initiative. Before we begin, I want to remind you that this is an interactive session. So if you have any questions or any comments, you can put it in the comments section for us to discuss during the live. So without further ado, let's welcome to the MDIC Live the Program Director, Paul Sumner, Program Managers, Desiree, Steele, and Savannah Walker. Welcome to MDIC Live.
Thanks, Deb.
Morning, Deborah.
Good morning. How are you today? Thank you for joining us.
Living the dream. Wonderful long weekend here in the United States. And what an exciting way to start the week.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So, Paul, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your role here at MDIC and the Case for Quality initiative?
Why, of course. Thank you for having us here today, Deborah, and welcome everyone that's watching this exciting event for the Case for Quality. My name is Paul Sumner. I am the Program Director for the MDIC Case for Quality and Collaborative Community, and everything that falls under that umbrella. I am especially delighted to be joined today by our Case for Quality rock stars, Desiree, Steele, and Savannah Walker. Before they tell a little bit about themselves, I'll spend the next hour talking about me. So, I've had time to reflect a little bit on my fantastic journey in the medical device space. It has been a uniquely rewarding time for me, starting out wanting to be, when I started college, I wanted to be a dentist and then ultimately a veterinarian. Somebody talked me into, hey, maybe you ought to take care of some pets. So, okay, great. While I was going to college, I had the fortune of working as an R&D engineer with a French nuclear medicine company, introducing nuclear imaging algorithms for heart ejection fraction calculations. And, without revealing my age, it was the first time you could actually see cinematic flow of the heart pulsating in 3D on a color monitor. No, I'm not that old, but that was what they were introducing. And so I became so enthralled with what they were doing, I changed my career once again, my outlook, and said, you know what, I really like this medical device thing. I want to continue this journey and be at the forefront for the benefit of patients and healthcare providers. So 40 years later, that's sort of what I've been doing. I started in a variety of different roles, anywhere from medical device manufacturing, customer support, regulatory and quality, and diverse roles, which include quality and regulatory for global companies. Anywhere from small entrepreneurial startups envisioning bringing their products into the United States to Fortune 5 companies. I had the pleasure of starting my own radiology imaging company many years ago, before PACS systems became really popular and highly competitive. And from there, besides a few years international consulting in the QARA space, I also left my wonderful previous company, almost 10 years as a compliance officer. So rather than rambling on for the next 40 minutes of my journey, Desiree, why don't you just tell a little bit about yourself and why you're a superstar of the Case for Quality team?
Sure. So hello, everyone. My name is Desiree Steele. I'm currently the program manager in the Case for Quality Collaborative Community division, or initiative rather, at MDIC. I have been at MDIC for about 4 years now, come October. I initially started out in one of our other exciting initiatives called SPY, also known as the Science of Patient Input. At the time, they had just been awarded a grant to conduct a heart failure study. And so I was a part of that, and that ran its course. I think it was slated for about 2 years or so. And then I hopped on over to Case for Quality. Prior to that, I've worked for the federal government. I've done a vast number of things in the profit and nonprofit sectors relating to healthcare systems. And so I'm very happy to be here, and so happy to turn it over to Savannah, our project manager.
Thanks, Desiree. And good morning, everyone. My name is Savannah Walker, and I'm the project manager for the Case for Quality team here at MDIC. I've been in my role for a little over a year now, where I help support the Case for Quality initiative and multiple projects with Paul and Desiree. Such projects include Safe Space, where we focus on optimizing the recall process, and leadership engagement, where the group actually refers to their very own playbook that can be found on the MDIC website to offer guidance and best practices that can ensure a good culture of quality within an organization. Additionally, I help support other projects within SPY, as Desiree just mentioned, and clinical diagnostics, which are actually better highlighted in other MDIC Live segments. Prior to MDIC, I majored in psychology and biology with a focus in neuroscience. I was fortunate enough to work at a neurohealth facility where they specialized in an alternative treatment for depression and anxiety, known as transcranial magnetic stimulation therapy, also known as TMS for short. While I was there, I gained a lot of great experience with direct patient care and clinical research with medical devices, which actually sparked my interest for learning more about the total product life cycle and everything that comes with it. It's because of that experience that I really enjoy working here at MDIC with this team.
Thank you so much. It is wonderful to get to know the people behind the work. So thanks for sharing your experience with us today. So let's get into matter right now, right? So what is the Case for Quality collaborative community about?
I guess you're directing that at me, right, Deb? Mm-hmm.
Yes, Paul, can you guide us through it?
Sure, happy to elaborate. So, the short story is the Case for Quality and the collaborative community is really about advancing quality, safety, and effectiveness of medical devices. It emanated from a vision roughly 11 years ago, around 2011, initiated by the FDA, with the thought that the medical device industry needs to focus on elevating their perception of quality beyond just compliance with laws, right? And in other words, moving from a baseline regulatory compliance view to a sustained predictive and proactive practice that advances medical device quality and safety, which ultimately achieves better outcomes for patients and healthcare providers. The Case for Quality collaborative community accomplishes this by bringing stakeholders, convening stakeholders together at the table from the medical device industry, regulators, healthcare providers, payers, and patients, for example, and to the conversation of improving medical device safety and effectiveness at an independent, convened, transparent forum or platform, if you will, hosted by MDIC. It promotes, our mission is to promote transparency and collaboration on quality in the device ecosystem. We establish trust in the solutions while incentivizing rewards for improving quality. The Case for Quality collaborative community is a direct result of FDA's vision and focuses primarily on elevating the focus of the medical device stakeholders from that baseline regulatory compliance to sustained predictive practices, which ultimately advances device quality and safety, which to the benefit of better outcomes for patients. kick it back to you, Ben. Mm-hmm.
That is wonderful, and it is really great to see how it all kind of connects together, and how you can connect people from different areas per se into the work of the Case for Quality initiative. Now, how does MDIC define quality? What are some key metrics that regulators or manufacturers look at to determine device quality or maturity per se?
That's a great question, although it's somewhat difficult to answer because quality, can be defined in a variety of ways, depending on the audience and who's defining it, right? So typically, over the years, the most common definition when one views quality is to either meet or exceed customer expectations and user requirements. Right? Although, even though today many view quality as, hey, we comply with the regulations, and we're not getting warning letters, we're not getting observations during an FDA inspection or a regulatory inspection. So we must be producing quality devices, right? So a more mature organization, and if we look at the Case for Quality and the original visions of FDA, is we should kick it up a notch. We should focus a little bit further beyond just complying with the law. And maturing organizations, as many of our members have experienced, they demonstrate continual improvement of the processes within their organization, thereby improving device safety and effectiveness, more in a proactive type of manner. It's a culture, right, within an organization that permeates across all the operational aspects from the top down. And as a result of that, the continuing improvement presumes that products are improving over time, and therefore safety and effectiveness gets improved while products become better and better. Ultimately, you're not only exceeding customer requirements and expectations, but healthcare providers and patients benefit from that continual improvement journey. Savannah and Desiree will talk about that a little bit later in this session to provide a couple of examples of what the Case for Quality and the collaborative community are actually doing in that regard.
Wonderful. So in that vein then, Desiree, what do you consider is the impact of this program on the medical device ecosystem per se?
Sure. So the impact of this program is tremendous when it comes to the medical device ecosystem. As Paul mentioned, the focal point of that is addressing issues ranging from regulatory compliance, predictive practices, while also focusing on, of course, quality and achieving better patient outcomes. And so one of the ways that these programs that you're going to hear about a little later were developed is the FDA gathered data. They had some conversations with both regulatory and also industry stakeholders, and they kind of leveraged those things in that data. And they found a few things. And so one of the things that they found is that in order to manage risk, organizations that address those areas, not just addressing critical areas, but just organization-wide, were proven to be, more productive and had better overall outcomes. And so also one of the results from that data in this program is, of course, fewer complaints and less investigations. And so we've thrown around the word collaborative community quite a bit, and I'm sure you're going to hear it again during this live. But the collaborative community itself absolutely offers a very unique opportunity for those involved. So medical device stakeholders, regulatory, of course, FDA, to really just influence or advance the medical device ecosystem from start to finish. It also allows the FDA to do one really big thing, which is to really have a view of medical device stakeholders or sites or device companies, and enabling them to really produce high quality devices, and also increasing their level of producing high quality devices. Sorry. And so, as we've mentioned, this is absolutely a partnership. In doing so, we recognize various supporting practices in our initiatives. And overall, to bring it all together, they enhance the consistency of developing quality manufacturing devices. So,
Wonderful. And because we have talked several times about collaborative communities, like Case for Quality is a collaborative community under MDIC. So what are some recent projects that community has collaborated on, and what is unique about working in a collaborative community?
sure. So a program that I'm sure everyone has heard about, I'll allude to it later. But anyway, since the point of its inception in about 2014 or so, as we mentioned, it is absolutely a public-private partnership. MDIC has successfully convened and collaborated in various projects under the collaborative community umbrella. And one of those things is VIP, also known as the Voluntary Improvement Program. And that particular program was really designed to leverage the proven maturity model by CMMI. So that's the Capability Maturity Model Integration Framework. And that particular framework enables medical device organizations to measure their capability to produce high quality devices. And we have here the website where there is a wealth of information on the VIP program, how to get involved, how it came about. And if you want to talk statistics in the program and success rates, we have about 86% or so of our participants are experiencing a positive product quality improvement outcome by being in the program. And in more exciting news, this program was initially piloted, and as of earlier this year, it turned to a full program, which means we are successful in doing so. And so also the FDA released draft guidance that was out for public comment. I believe that period closed in July or so. And so hopefully we'll have more to come to see the published guidance from FDA in the coming months, of course.
That's great. Now, are there on any other initiatives like within Case for Quality that are also making an impact?
Definitely. Make CAPA Cool is another great example of a Case for Quality project. We were really able to bring the CAPA process to a greater maturity level rather than being perceived as a one-size-fits-all documentation focused heavily on a compliance requirement. We were able to pivot to a quality improvement problem-solving tool focused on risk and fit for purpose impact triaging, leading to faster resolution of product and quality risks, and ultimately lowering burden and costs. The most important end result of Make CAPA Cool is that companies are now able to offer safer and higher quality products to patients and providers in a more efficient way.
That is really great work. And now we are talking about what you're currently doing and the efforts that are currently in place on MDIC. Now, what does the future of this work looks like?
Yeah, so a lot has changed within the medical field as a whole as a result of the pandemic, and that's especially the case with the medical device industry. Since the start of COVID-19, I've been able to see firsthand how different facets of the total product life cycle have been needing to be modified to accommodate the world's needs, ranging from direct patient care to the culture of quality within an organization and to even the CAPA process. With that in mind, one of the ways the Case for Quality program plans on moving forward is by more widely adopting existing successful program focus areas. To touch back on Make CAPA Cool again, that would be a great example and starting point for us to revisit and optimize the risk management process at a different capacity. And hopefully soon, maybe we'll even have a Make CAPA Cooler underway.
That's wonderful. Now, in that same vein of the future of the work, And you showed us some resources that were available on the website per se. Do you want to touch on like some that are going to become available, and can you walk us through a few, and what would be the cornerstone resource per se that comes from this group's work?
I think we can all answer that.
Yeah.
I can start with VIP. So for the voluntary improvement program, we have a wealth of resources on the website. We even have something called the VIP Information Center, which is really used as a one-stop shop for everything from appraisal guidelines, reappraisal guidelines, COVID-19 guidelines when it comes to appraisals, all the way to what is our strategic plan for the voluntary improvement program? Where are we? Where do we plan to go? What are our working groups up to for the foreseen future? Also, you can find out there how to get involved. There are lots of different things there. So I know that both Paul and Savannah have some exciting resources that are coming from their initiatives in the future as well. So I'll kick it to either one of them.
Go ahead, Savannah.
Yeah, I can go next. So just referring to some of our projects, leadership engagement and VIP both held a forum in June. On the website, you can also locate those recordings. I know for leadership engagement, we kind of highlighted how other organizations outside of the med device industry focused on quality within their companies. And we even spoke to speakers such as Dr. John Kelly from IBM Watson and Lisa Walker from Dish. We also have a plethora of different webinars. One, for example, would be measuring the value of quality. That was done pretty recently. And then also we have some workshops, again, from the leadership engagement team, such as how to develop a quality strategy.
That's great. Thank you, Desiree. Thank you, Savannah. To sum it up, go to our website, take a look at the numerous activities that we have convened over many, many years, addressing some of the challenges that we have heard coming from industry as well as regulators that we could serve a purpose for. There's just years worth of guidance, playbooks, white papers, available, great resources. When I look to the future, pay attention that we will be leveraging the recent guidance document from FDA relative to the VIP program. A favorite one, which we will be taking to the next level. I guess we're going to call it Making CAPA Cooler. That will be an exciting endeavor. So we have a variety of future initiatives that we will be focusing on. So your best avenue is to stay abreast on our MDIC website to see, and by all means, reach out. We're always looking for working group members to join us on the numerous projects that are ongoing. So, when I talk about the VIP program, one of the areas that we are exploring is the ability to expand the overall VIP program beyond just PMA-based devices, but also to Class 2 and maybe even Class 1 devices. So that is an area we're focusing on very intensively today as we speak. So reach out to me, reach out to the superstars over here, Desiree and Savannah. If you're interested or you want to get some further information, we're happy to respond to you and provide you some great incentives to join our teams. Savannah, anything else? Any other ways they can contact us?
Yeah. So of course we have our Case for Quality email. It is cfqcc@mdic.org. And another place to check out some of our upcoming ideas and opportunities would be the annual public forum. That is going to be on September 13th. we'll be having a great panel session.
So next week is an exciting event for MDIC and selfishly the Case for Quality.
Only right.
So we will be hosting in-person annual forum. Previous ones were not in person due to the pandemic. So it'll be an exciting panel discussion with some thought leaders of the medical device ecosystem, talking about the future of this particular program, Case for Quality, and so forth.
Great. So to sum it all up, right? How containing those two ways that you just mentioned, how can people get involved with the work that you are doing in a way that makes them part of your efforts in a more concerted way?
Anybody want to take that? I thought we just covered that a little bit.
Yes.
Did we miss anything, Desiree?
I don't think that we did. We have, as Paul and Savannah mentioned, we have lots of working groups. We're always looking for new and fresh faces, leveraging different, data or different experiences that we can put into our working groups. So absolutely, if you would like to get involved, again, you can contact us at the Case for Quality email box that Savannah gave. And also, I just implore you to go to the website and maybe read some of the summaries that we have available and really see what speaks to you and what you would like to get involved in. And then we can go from there. We're happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Great. So thank you so much for the overview of your program per se and the efforts that you are doing to take quality to go beyond just compliance and into being more and building that case for quality per se. I really think that your efforts are a great contribution to the medical device community, and I'm really excited to see where all your efforts lead. So before we hop off today, if somebody has any questions, please feel free to put them in the comments so we can have a little Q&A. Now, before we continue going that route, I'm really excited about attending your session next week at the Case for Quality event per se within the annual public forum. Have you had the chance of exploring different ways that people would get excited about attending your session specifically? What would be that unique thing that they would take with them when they attend?
Well, no, that's a great question. So, as we've mentioned many times during this session, Case for Quality and the collaborative community have a year's worth of successes, which are demonstrated on the artifacts at our website. So, unlike previous annual forums, this year we're shifting the overall messaging to not so much focus on our previous successes, but to with a great panel of thought leaders from the device ecosystem. We plan on spending a majority of the time focusing on the future, listening to the audience and the stakeholders of how they would like to see the Case for Quality program generate new initiatives and so forth. So I can tell you we'll focus a little bit on risk management. The making CAPA cooler will be another area, and whether or not we should be leveraging existing programs or actually venturing and starting new initiatives in those areas. So CAPAs and culture seem to be somewhat of an interest to the device industry, and what kind of guidance we can provide or what kind of artifacts to help them. So it'll be an interesting discussion because what we try to do has to have meaningful impact in a positive way to patients, needs to provide value to the entire medical device ecosystem. And then, most importantly, transform our overall thinking of quality to, that next level of approach, right? Beyond compliance, I think is really, really important.
That is great. And I really can't wait to attend your session. And I thank you so much for your time today and providing us such a comprehensive overview about your program, your initiatives, and the way that people can engage with us. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you, Deborah.
Thank you.
Thank you for those that attended today. I hope this was informative, and we look forward to speaking with you later.
Sounds good. Thank you very much.
All right.